The movie starts off with a sudden bang. We see a terrified family looking at a doorknob that keeps rattling by itself. Then a man and a woman, who look comparatively calm, arrive at the residence and enter the mysterious room to unravel a blood-covered, possessed girl who roars at them. The woman inquires about a certain doll, and the father of the possessed girl names a room where they go next. The man and the woman, named Bagas and Laras, who arrived later, turn out to be psychics who help possessed people and their families get out of harm's way. They search around the house for the doll, and come back to find the possessed girl's family huddled up around her. Bagas warns the father to not go near the girl, but it's already too late. The girl attacks him. It is then revealed that Yusai's spirit, which possessed the girl, wants revenge on Laras for trying to save Daniel in the previous film, and Yusai leaves the girl's body to go on and mercilessly take Laras' daughter's life. The screen then cuts to a happy and cheerful family consisting of Mara, Aldo, and their 5-year-old daughter named Kayla. She likes to play with her mother, searching for treasures and recording them. We see Kayla recording her mother Mara. When her father Aldo arrives and reminds Mara that they have dinner with his boss, Mara goes to get ready, and Aldo enjoys bonding time with little Kayla. Mara gets ready, and they head out to see Kayla standing by the window, recording something outside. Mara calls her, and she closes the camera, puts it on the table, and they head out. Outside, they say goodbye to their housekeeper Yanni. While on the road, Aldo is horrified to notice that his car's brakes fail, and they are hit by a vehicle. The couple barely manages to survive, but only to find out that Kayla couldn't. How dreadful. 9 months have passed since the horrific incident of Kayla's passing, and Mara is still unable to let Kayla go, not even 1%. Although Aldo tries his best to cheer her up, it's to no avail. It's like her heart has stopped, but her body keeps moving on. One day, Mara's friend Sarah visits her and takes her out. Mara tells her that she feels like Kayla is still around. They talk for a while, and then Sarah suggests, why not try summoning Kayla's ghost, and then Mara can talk to her and put her heart at peace. They come back home and prepare for the Linksir Wengi ritual to summon Kayla's spirit. It is believed that they must pray after the ritual, so that the spirit may return to its original place once the summoning is finished. They try, but midway through the ritual, Yanni interrupts them, and they think they have failed, so they let it go and forget all about it. Soon after the ritual, Mara begins to experience strange paranormal happenings throughout the house. She sees the ghost of a little girl who runs around the house, pops up into the shower, and writes stuff around the house. She tries to tell Sarah about it, but strangely enough, only Mara can see all these happenings. The next day Sarah leaves, and with Aldo gone to work, Mara is left all alone at home. As she is picking up laundry from the terrace, she sees the Sabrina doll that they used as a medium to contact Kayla. Her heart almost pops out of her chest, and she crashes into Aldo, who has just come home. When she tells Aldo, the Sabrina doll is all but gone. They find it resting in Kayla's bedroom. Such horrifying happenings with the Sabrina doll take place a few more times, and Aldo starts to believe that his wife is becoming mentally unstable. He hires a psychiatrist, Dr. Dinny, who suggests the two of them take a vacation. The couple goes to their honeymoon destination for a vacation to leave behind all of the terrifying memory. Aldo keeps reminding Mara that, since she is hallucinating due to grief and trauma, she should adopt the coping and recovery techniques that Dr. Dinny suggested to help her heal. Mara tries her best to remain sane and collected, but when the night comes and Kayla's spirit calls for her, she can't help but wander outside in search of the source, who can stop a desperate mother who wants so badly to see her daughter. Outside there, in the middle of the night, Mara sees the number 26 written on the sand. She follows the ghost into the pool and almost drowns. Luckily for her, Aldo comes in time and saves her. The couple, after miserably failing in their healing mission, comes back more broken than before. Sarah comes over after hearing of her friend's health. She takes her to the psychics, Laras and Bagas, who are well known for solving such cases. Upon reaching them, Laras refuses to help them. She is still processing her daughter's loss, which happened due to her profession. She tells poor Mara that she won't help her, but Bagas, Laras' younger brother, is willing to help. After listening to her story, Bagas tells her that spirits usually talk using clues and hints. He tells her that her daughter wants to tell her something, and that the number 26 that she mentioned on the sand refers to Kayla's 26th memory card. Mara, Sarah, and Bagas leave to go and survey Mara's house. They take the doll and perform the Linksir Wengi ritual again, and find out that Kayla only wants to talk to Mara alone, and she would only tell her. Bagas also warns that since they used Sabrina as a medium to call Kayla's spirit, it is best if nobody touches it, because it can harm them. After finishing the ritual, Sarah goes to drop off Bagas, who calls Laras to persuade her one last time to come. That night, back in the house, Mara calls Kayla's spirit again to try and talk to her about what she wants to tell her. Kayla mysteriously writes, "My room -26 on the paper before Mara. She goes to Kayla's room, but can't find it. The next morning, Dinny comes for an in-house therapy session. During her session, she takes out the Sabrina doll and tries to calm Mara, who keeps telling her to put the doll away. As she goes on and on about how harmless the possessed doll is, the lights in the room start to flicker. Within a few seconds, all hell breaks loose. The room shakes, and Dinny gets heavily thrown against the wall. Laras comes at last, and together, she and Bagas run to the possessed house to save the people in need. Dinny gets badly injured, but to everyone's relief, she is still alive. Bogus hurriedly takes her to the hospital. On the other hand, Aldo's entire world shakes, and he finally believes in Mara. Laras takes the rest of the people to a quiet corner and tells them that they must resolve the spirit's grudge or else it would never stop causing such havoc, and people would keep getting injured. Bogus returns and brings things needed for another ritual. They sit around, and Laras performs the ritual. She asks Kayla to help her. She is then guided by Kayla's spirit and finds out that the memory card is in a box in the basement. Mara and Bogus run downstairs to find the memory card, while Laras is still in a trance. They find the 26th memory card and play it to find a horrifying video that reveals that Yanni paid someone to cut Aldo's car brakes. Mara cannot believe her eyes. They run off to confront Yanni. Without a single hint of regret in her eyes, Yanni says that it is Aldo's fault. She reveals that after years of struggling with infertility, Mara finally gave birth to Kayla. But before Kayla's arrival, the stress of Mara's difficulty in getting pregnant had taken a toll on their relationship. Mara often avoided Aldo, and Aldo became stressed and overwhelmed. During this difficult time, Yanni became Aldo's source of comfort. She helped him cope with the stress and anxiety he was experiencing. When Mara finally became pregnant, Aldo's stress levels decreased, and he started to distance himself from Yanni. Yanni, however, began feeling sick and unhappy, convinced that if she is unhappy, everyone else around her must be unhappy too. She says that it is all Aldo's fault. Had he not distanced himself and kept loving her, she wouldn't have done what she did. On the other side, Laras is finally released from her trance and calls for Bogus. They notice that all the doors to the outside are locked. They quickly tie down Yanni, and Aldo runs to Bogus's side after telling Mara to keep an eye on her. Outside the room, Laras tells Aldo that Kayla wants to take revenge on Yanni as she is consumed by vengeance. Laras runs back to the room, just in time to save Yanni from being crushed by the fan, but Kayla isn't happy with that. She throws Laras to the wall and drags her into the washroom, locking her in. Aldo and Bogus run to help her. Meanwhile, in the room, Yanni finds a sharp object and successfully releases herself. Seizing a scissor, she attacks Mara, who runs and locks herself away in another room. She tries calling on the phone for help, but Yanni comes in from the other side and attacks her. She keeps on hurting Mara with various objects, and they fight a bloody mess. Yanni follows Mara into the kitchen where the Sabrina doll is, and they keep on fighting. She tries to poison Mara with gas, but Kayla possesses Mara and violently attacks Yanni. Yanni tries to run away, scared, through the air vents, but Kayla is hot on her heels. She calls her in a chilly voice, telling Yanni that she wants to play with her and asking if she is afraid. Laras and Bogus, on the other hand, arrive to find Aldo in captivity. They find that Kayla is onto Yanni, and that she might take her life anytime now. Aldo crawls in through the vent behind them and tries to calm down Kayla. They come out into the basement, trying their best to take the spirit out from within Mara. After a lot of struggle, Aldo, Bogus, and Laras finally manage to get Kayla out of Mara's body. Mara is finally released, and the husband and wife embrace. They all then try to get out of the house. Everyone manages to get out, everyone except Yanni. Kayla pulls her against the wall and closes the door once everyone else is out. Outside, Laras reminds Mara that she must keep her anger in check. If she becomes enraged, Kayla would be angry too, and she would definitely want to take Yanni's life. The group outside decides to help Yanni, and they bring a ladder to climb into the house. Inside, they see a gruesome image of Kayla torturing Yanni. She has moved into Yanni's body and is torturing her severely. Kayla throws her all over the house, scratches, claws, and cuts at her skin. Yanni must be wishing for her demise, but Kayla wants her to suffer. The group jumps in and saves Yanni from Kayla's grasp. Even though Yanni is saved, Kayla's spirit is still there. Confronted with Kayla's spirit form, Mara becomes overwhelmed with emotions. She sadly and emotionally lets go of her child, and Kayla finally goes on to the next realm in peace. After all the action ends, the media gathers outside, and the murder culprit Yanni is taken to the hospital. At the end of the movie, we see Mara initially filing for divorce, but while visiting Kayla's grave, Mara talks with Aldo, who is already there. She says that it's not only Aldo's fault, but Yanni's and hers too, and that they have been through so much together, so it isn't good to give up now. They decide to get back together and give their relationship another try. Laras, on the other hand, finally hears back from her daughter and becomes more enthusiastic than before to become a psychic again. She tells Bogus that she talked with Shira, and she does not blame Laras for her passing. Shira also tells her mother to keep on helping people the way she used to before.